We gonna get it. 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 I ain't been here with y'all for a couple days. We had a powerhouse telethon. I went back in the trenches working with the team. We've got so much done today. We're working with our typesetters, prepping them as we're finalizing the review of the true scriptures. We got a lot of content going out on our social media channels, got a lot going on our podcast. We got a lot going on, period. And we're like, here we go. We get ready to get the true scriptures out to the world. We have the final review team on it. So we've got multiple people plus a high-level professional scrubbing the last and final edits or corrections or suggestions, punctuation, all that good stuff. This will be done within the next 48 hours. No longer than 72 hours. So we're 2 to 3 days away, 3 days max, from our final review of the true scriptures. Berit Hadash, that's the New Testament. And I'm telling y'all, going to change the world. And if you have not yet went over to tsnt.org and support it, I highly suggest you get your name on the roster. I really believe with everything I got in my whole being that Yahuwah right now has the top messengers. Mikal, that's Mikal, I should say Mikal, who you have known as Michael. Gabriel, I believe he has the top two messengers on point with this assignment. I feel it. Ain't nobody talked to me personally, like in a physical human voice that you would normally have interaction with humans. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Ruah. I'm talking about Yahuwah Ruah, his spirit. He says, I will teach you all things about me. Do not think about what you will say in that day. Don't think about it. For in that day, I will give you those things. I will give you those words. So I just get quiet sometimes and I just listen. Now, here's the thing. And Lena and I, my wife, we had to talk about this earlier today. The Spirit will bear witness. And I know for a fact that Yahuwah personally talks to me through his Spirit, Yahuwah Ruah. I know that for a fact. I'm willing to stake everything I got on it, my entire life. If it means that, take my life. I just know that Yahuwah Ruah talks to me. The only evidence I can have to prove that from a humanistic standpoint is that if you just pay attention when I'm teaching you, when I'm sharing with you, you will see Yahuwah Ruah work through me, and it's the direct voice of the Father himself. Because it's impossible for me to know what I know, to do what I do. It's impossible. I'm telling you, I'm a country boy. From a small town in Kentucky, I grew up on a hog farm. I'm just telling you who I am. I'm not going to try to purport to be somebody I'm not. I grew up on a hog farm. I don't know why Yahuwah called me to do the things that I do in his name. I don't know. I just know he called me, and I know I had a choice. And I know that for years, I ran from him. I really relate to Yuna. That's Jonah. I relate to him. Because Yuna did not want to do the calling of Yahuwah. And there was a time I didn't want to do his calling. I just didn't want to do it. Brother Daniel in the building giving away some memberships for our YouTube channel support. Hey, y'all support the YouTube channel. So when y'all get on our memberships on YouTube, it supports the channel, gives us the ability to do all kind of incredible things on YouTube, which is reaching out to hundreds of thousands. And now we're getting ready to get into the millions of people. I don't know. I'm telling y'all, I just don't know how this came to be. It can only be from Yahuwah. I told Lena, as a leader, this stuff can only be from the highest power. in the world because I can look at Aramaic and understand it. And what hog farmer in the United States of America, born in Kentucky, go find one. They can look at Aramaic and go, I understand that. They can look at a bar, Hebrew, and go, oh, I understand that. That can disseminate the vowel points. Oh, that they try to change that. And then go into scriptures and then go tear down all the pagan stuff. Man, this is like Yahuwah, Elijah type stuff going on. And I'm sitting there going, Yahuwah, you called me to do some Yahuwah, Elijah type stuff where we're going to tear down Baal through some country boy? And you're going to get me to go get this renegade band of people together. The most least likely. Y'all know who you are. Y'all like me. I'm the most least likely for a fact. You want me to go pull together all these people on the outskirts who felt like something wasn't right their whole life, and people have kind of pushed them down and kind of banished them, have shamed them. Even parents have rejected some of us. You mean to tell me these are the people you're calling to do this thing? I'm telling y'all, I'm being straight up. Fact. I am not telling you I can do this on my own. I have never said that. Not one time have you heard me come on here and go, man, I know everything, everything, and I can tell you, and if you don't follow what I'm saying, you're going to go in. I ain't never said that. I've told you I got the truth. I'm telling you where I got it from, and I'm telling you, you don't have to agree, and I'm not going to argue with you, debate with you at all. I'm just telling you, I'm not. And if you want to roll with what we're talking about, come on in. If you don't, go ahead and do your thing. And here's the thing. When you go out, if you leave from among us or you don't like what we're doing, you're not going to see me post one thing on social media negative about you. You're not going to see me send you no email, no personal message, you're not going to find any text messages forever of me talking trash to somebody about not agreeing with me about Yahuwah. Ever. It just ain't going to happen. You see what's going on with all these celebrities in Hollywood, in the music industry that done all this dirt over these years? Man, they're dragging them up now. I know why they're getting dragged up. Yahuwah's closing in. I know. I know what's going on in my spirit. Now, I don't know how to tell y'all any clearer about what's going on here. I'm just telling you what I feel is going on. And unlike these, quote, pastors and preachers who saying, man, I talked to G.O.D. this morning, he told me. Y'all don't hear me say that. I tell you, I'm hearing it from the Spirit. And I'm identifying the Spirit has the name Yahuwah. And it's the Ruah of Yahuwah. Ruah in Abar Hebrew means spirit. So I'm telling you what I believe and I feel. Then I start doing stuff based on what I hear. You remember when Yahusha was on the earth? He said, I only do what I hear the Father saying to do. That was what was amazing about Yahusha's consistent testimony. He goes, I only do what I hear the Father saying. And I'm like, he said, greater things you will do than I've done. And I'm like, okay, so I'm listening. Now, this is the unique part about cracking the code. You got to bring some discipline to the table. You can't be like, I hear, and be buck wild. We can't hear you say, I hear, and you out here buck wild. I hear, and I guard the commandments. That's what we need to see in you. That's what you need to see in me. I hear, but I don't just hear. I guard the commandments to prove that I'm hearing. No one that doesn't guard the commandments can say they're hearing. You got to guard the commandments. Then you have the ability. Now you've got the passage to say, I'm hearing. If you don't guard the commandments, nobody but the evil one, Shaitan, is telling you stuff. What's going on? Cole's in the building. So the way I'm opening this up on this subject, that Yahusha's biggest secret, this is kind of funny, is revealed by the true scriptures. And this is based upon a comment that the staff said. Look at this comment. My team said, check out this comment. I'm busy. I'm busy doing Yahuwah. I told Lena today. We was having a deep, me and my wife had a deep conversation today about all, we had, as a husband and a wife, we will have deep conversations at least every other day, if not every day. We got about a 15 to 30-minute slot for deep stuff that we're going to talk about. Every day, no longer than every other day. It's going to be 15, 30 minutes. And I said, look, this is what's going on. Like, as we're closing in, we're going to launch this baby. This is what's going on. So I'm not going to get deep into that. I'm gonna teach you something. Thank you, brother Marv, in the building. Marv, you having a great time tearing these lies down, ain't you? Y'all, I'm giving y'all so much ammunition to go live a life to deal with all the people who thought you was crazy. You know what I'm saying, brother Daniel Bukote? Sister Rush, hey Rush, the team just released a video on you and brother Bill. Think about it. Hey, brother Bill's testimony off the hook. Sister Rush off the hook. Hey, several of y'all other ones that was part of the review team. Y'all got something coming. They're working on stuff now. Hey, y'all should see who I was dealing with today. We going all the way up, not a little bit up. I got some. That's why I love when Yahusha was here. He taught us how to act. He taught us not to be stuck up. He taught us not to be bougie. How many of y'all in the South know what bougie means? He taught us not to be acting holier than thou. They say that word holy. I'm going to put a quote on that pagan word. The real part would be more set apart than thou. Oh, however you want to say it. Rush, you see your video yet? It's out. You know what I'm saying, sister? Is that Heather or Lane? I can't ever tell. Y'all got Lane, Heather. Why don't y'all do separate accounts? Me and Lena do separate accounts so we know who the heck we talking to. Hold on, what time you wake up? I'm here because Yahuwah woke me up. It's 2:38. Where you at? Y'all glorious. Are you over in the Netherlands? I think you're in the Netherlands. And put your name in there. All y'all using these code names, I'm just telling y'all. Can you get into the kingdom of Yahuwah with a code name? I know social media is like that, but I'm telling y'all, in dealing with the truth, y'all need to get your witness together. See, I know it's Juanita Heinrich. So now I'm talking to her as an emissary in Yahuwah. And I'm saying, Yahuwah, when I go to pray, I pray for a lot of y'all. Some of y'all's names pop up in my brain. It's amazing, man. Like, you got to have your name written in the book of life. I know Daniel Bakote or Bakot. Depends on how you want to come at it. If I'm in Spanish, I'm going to say Daniel Bakote. If I'm in USA, I'm going to say Daniel Bakot. One way or another, that name is written in the book of life. Joe Carden, Annette Green. I see you. Eric Martin. But for some reason, man, people get on social media and they go into the Secret Service. I understand because it's crazy. I understand. Hey, because social media is nuts. But I'm not afraid of social media. Are y'all afraid of it? People attack me all the time on social media. I don't care. Just block them. Or they can. I've had people open up. Social media is nuts. That's funny. But I'm not afraid of social media. Y'all hear that background? I'm over again my other screen. I'm not afraid of it. People do open up. I've had people do all articles, everything on it. They trash me, do whatever. They can't stop Yahuwah. That's the issue. I'm here in the name of Yahuwah, period. I'm not here on my own accord. Otherwise, y'all be seeing me, them inducting me into the Hall of Fame in baseball or something. And me caught up in that world. I had that type of skill set in that sport. That's a fact. Let me get lined up. Because this lesson tonight is going to be blazing. You can't be afraid of the social media, James. You can't be afraid of it. I'm not afraid. Y'all see me. Y'all be like, man, stop being afraid. Y'all can't be bougie and go get the lost. How they going to know unless somebody tells them? I figured that out. Yahuwah said, go on in there. All right. Y'all don't get who Yahusha was when he was on the earth. And Yahusha is Yahuwah. Yahusha is Yahuwah. Yahuwah, the creator of everything, came to earth in the form of the Son. Now, how can he do that? Because he is the Almighty, not the partial mighty, not the some mighty, not the kind of mighty. He's the Almighty. Put Almighty in the chat. All capital letters. Almighty. He's the Almighty One. How come they don't say the Almighty Two? Why do they not say the Almighty Two? Why do they say Almighty One? Y'all ain't understood the assignment? Come on, Edward. Y'all have not understood the assignment of the Almighty. It's in front of our face. Yahusha's biggest secret is in front of our face. He's the Almighty. Not the some, not the I'm going to do it every now and then mighty. He's the all capital letters. Almighty One. And that's hard for the pagans to deal with. That's hard for those who do not love him. That's hard for y'all that don't love him like that. For those of y'all that don't really love the Almighty One, it's hard for you to grasp that he can be whoever he wants to be. I know it's tough. I get it. I get it. But if you don't accept that he is the Almighty One and not two, you're not going in. And I'm here to preach the Bashura, the good news. See, the good news which is really the excellent news, the fantastic news, is that the Almighty One came to the earth and put himself in our shoes and did not sin. That's what y'all can't get over. All of y'all almighty 2 and 3 people. See, some of y'all almighty 2s. Some of you almighty 3s. Some of y'all heard Brother Nero say, some of y'all almighty millions. I deal with the almighty 1. And y'all ain't ever looked at almighty 1 the way I'm talking about tonight. Not one of you. Not one of you have. I bear witness to YAHUAH. Not one person has said almighty 1 means that Yahusha is Yahuwah. Not one of you thought of that. Now you have, and you got the Bashura. Because now you know that Yahusha is the Almighty One because he said he is. And he proved he is. He says, if you don't believe that I am he, then at least believe. Now, he didn't stop there. Let me get him right. If you do not believe that Asha'aya, at least believe in the miracles themselves. Because no one has done, not one human has done what I have done. He said that. Thank you, Brother Daniel. Not one. Matthew, my brother, my real brother. Matthew was my real brother. Matthew Wells in the building. Been rocking with me for years. Y'all give a big respect. Y'all see Matthew Wells coming here, y'all show him deep honor. He's been rocking with me for years. He's now heading towards a decade. I have no idea what y'all gonna do with this. Whenever y'all hear me say what y'all gonna do with this, that means it's a sort. Every time you hear me. Come on, Sister Juanita. I see you working for the kingdom. Anytime y'all hear me say what y'all gonna do with this, it's a sort. It's to check you. It's to do an examination of your thought process. Do you think Almighty 2? I guarantee you, most of you do. Yahuhanan. I'm going to True Scriptures. I'm going to go into True Scriptures. Man, if y'all know what I've been doing today, this is my download after I'm on this massive assignment from Yahuwah. Now you're dealing with my download. And you notice that my language, my fortitude, my directness is getting much more on point the closer we get to the launch of this project. You want to know why? Y'all should see who I'm dealing with some mega ones in the media. In the media. I got just recently, y'all know the news station TMZ? TMZ. They break all the biggest news stories in the world. TMZ. One of their like close to original members is a good friend of mine. Is a good friend of mine. And he don't call on Yahuwah, but we friends. See, you remember when Yahusha used to befriend the tax collectors and the prostitutes, them hoes. Some of y'all would, if Yahusha was here now, many of y'all wouldn't recognize him. Many of y'all would do the same thing the Pharisees, the Parashim was doing. Y'all go like, look at him over there. He over hanging with them hoes. Many of y'all would literally not get it. If Naha was here rocking, y'all wouldn't understand Naha. That's Noah. Y'all would spit it. Many of you would even spit. You would spit at Noah. But Noah used to get towed down. He liked to get his drink on, as the young people would say. Y'all would have been too good for Naha. You don't understand. You have not yet really studied to show yourself approved. You studied to show yourself Catholic. You studied to show yourself Christian. You studied to show yourself organized religion. You ain't really got to know Yahuwah and how he likes to roll. Yahuwah wants your authenticity. He wants your authenticity. He wants the real you that literally wants to get the most out of this life, wants to experience true happiness, but you don't break them commandments. Y'all understand that? Y'all don't understand that Naha got his drink on, but he didn't break them commandments. It didn't twist his mind to where he wanted to go commit adultery. It didn't twist his mind to where he wanted to murder someone. He got a little drink. He got a little spirits. He felt a little good. Not completely tore down, but right all up on, he's right up in there. You ain't went to really study Yahuwah like that. Y'all do whatever y'all want. It might be 144 of y'all left by the time I'm done teaching. It might be just 104. That's why I say 144. Because when we go up, I always say, shall we go up? Some of y'all don't want to go up there with me. Because I'm going I'm already up in there dealing with Yahuwah at them highest levels. It's done cost me too much not to. I done gave up too much. All the stuff that y'all run, all the stuff that y'all been running after, that y'all get caught up in, I've been in that life. For real, for real. There ain't no doubt. I've had that handed to me. Right at it. All I had to do was take one more bite and I've been full-fledged. You'd have seen me full scale. I got it from two angles. I got it from Hollywood and professional sports. Some of my greatest friends that I've had over life, even to this day. I'm going to bring some of them on here. I'm going to bring some actors on here that you see doing Hollywood movies for real. I got one friend. He's in almost every single major Hollywood movie. All the Jurassic Parks and the Spider-Mans and all that stuff. And we tight to this day. He don't call on Yahuwah. We just cool. And we don't mess with each other. But I'm going to bring him on here to share some stuff with y'all. So y'all can see some different angles. Y'all gotta change your perspective a little bit. Because Yahusha's biggest secret, we reveal in the true scriptures. As they're about to come out to the world, I'm going, Yahuwah, you gonna tear this world upside down. You really about to come back. You about to do it, ain't you, Father? He's like, yeah. Because I'm on the phone with all of my connections, like big time strategists, marketing. One of my great friends from TMZ. Y'all know that thing goes doom, doom, doom. And you will know him. And he like, I'm going to tell you how deep they're in. It don't matter from an eternal prospect. These ain't people that call on Yahuwah, but they're going to get more people to come to Yahuwah. That's a fact. It's a fact. They're going to get more people come to Yahuwah. Because y'all have not yet picked up. When I say y'all, I'm talking about most of y'all haven't picked up that Yahuwah stores up the wealth of the wicked for the righteous. He stores it up. And what I do, I just love on them. I keep loving on them. And every now and then, one of them will convert over. You'll see them go click. You know what you've been talking about. But I don't get caught up in their traps. They know it. I don't work upon their influence. They work upon my influence. They love me because they see the light of Yahuwah in me. I'm telling y'all think that all wicked people that are going to go into the lake of the fire, y'all think all of the people that's going to the lake of fire, y'all think they are like, man, we want to just ravage you. A lot of them people, they just weak. But they see the light and they're attracted to the light, but they just can't completely convert over. And it's a deep discipline to be cool with them, but you control the narrative, not them. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying tonight. I'm talking another level on this one. Okay, put it in the chat. Because y'all been on her with lies for like the past 7 months. Put it in the chat if y'all think I'm talking on a different level than I've talked before. Y'all feel something different in how I'm talking? Or do y'all feel like, no, that's Jay, he bringing it normal? I'm curious. My sister Renee gets it. Nene gets it. Hey, Sister Diane said she got so involved listening, she forgot to like and share. Everybody gotta like it, like it, and share it if you love. Okay, who else is getting where I'm coming? Because I'm talking on the hardest core level of real right now. Ebony says she gets it. Daniel says he gets speak real. He knows. Daniel. I don't know what's going with Daniel, but he understands. Daniel. He understands the assignment. Darl. He says it's a different level. Blake says I get it. Rush says I see it. Every line gets hotter. That's right. You might as well get ready. Imagine when the true scriptures are gone and I'm not busy reviewing and overseeing. That's what I do every day. I oversee, review, tweak, make sure, and we got to go present. I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. James says I'm bringing that A game. Eric says it's a different type. Okay. Who else? All right, so Amber's been around me for years. I prayed on her baby, her youngest child. I laid the hands of Yahuwah on that child and asked Amber, is that child anointed? Then I prayed on her oldest daughter. Ask her, is that child anointed? And I don't even know if Amber knows I prayed over her oldest daughter. I did. Those children are not. Look, Matthew been with me for years. They know. People been around. They know. So he's going up. He's going on up. And many of them that's been with me for years, they didn't even know. They would always ask me, what do you believe? I say, you don't want to really know what I believe. Think about that, Matt. A lot of people, they've been around me with hundreds, if not thousands of people going, what do you believe? What do you believe? I go, yeah, I don't want to know what I believe. They say, why? I said, because if you don't love the truth, what I believe is going to break your soul and your heart. It'll break your heart at first. Then it will break your soul if you don't love the truth. Come on, G. Marie. Because I'm new, so I'm not sure. Larry said I'm on another level. All right. All right, Donna said I'm making some sense. Y'all like this? Shannon said I'm bringing the punch. Elmer and Kareem said this is a higher level. All right. Lisa Austin, my sister, said I'm leveling up. All right, now watch. Let me talk to y'all. Because the secret, the greatest secret, has always been in front of our face. That's right, Amber. They both gifted and anointed. I don't know what y'all gonna do with this. I have no idea. Whenever I deliver it to you, I go, man, Yahuwah. He says, you just deliver it. He says, I'm busy calling those who are coming into the kingdom. You just do what you're supposed. You're supposed to bring the word. I'll work on doing the converting. Isn't that a trip? That's what I hear in my spirit. I bring it. Yahuwah will do work on the conversions. Some of y'all, you know you ain't in. You know it. I'm going to prove it. Because I heard a message today about a mega Christian pastor. 10,000 members in his church. Influential throughout all the community and the entire USA. It keeps happening about every 3 or 4 months. These big old mega church pastors, they come out. CJ, you already on it? CJ on it. I'll be hearing, what do you think, CJ? I'll be hearing it, and I'll be like, They keep on coming out. They believe they can sin and be forgiven after they've been forgiven. They literally believe they can sin and then be forgiven after they can be forgiven. That's their quote doctrine. They believe they can sin after they've been forgiven. You heard what I'm saying? They believe they can sin after they've been forgiven and then be forgiven. Now, let me tell y'all something. I want to help you out. Once you have truly been forgiven, you are not allowed under any circumstances. There's no understanding whatsoever. None. Once you have truly been forgiven, you can never sin again and then be forgiven. Ever. Go and sin no more. That's it. It's simple. Now, most people think that they cannot help from sinning because they've been trained to sin. And they've been trained not in the ways of Yahuwah. And what's going to happen is if you die with that belief, you got two things going to happen. This is the tough part about y'all listening to these videos. Because some of y'all get hooked in these videos and you don't really like what I'm saying. Like it's bothering your spirit. Let me tell you what that is. It's Satan trying to grab your soul. If you don't like what I'm really saying, you don't have to guess about it. It's Satan that wants to grab he's pulling on you. Don't you listen to him. And you're judging me. Or you're coming up with some trash excuse to not like it. I'm telling you. So the key here is that you cannot sin once you've truly been forgiven. Who said that? The Savior himself, even in the pagan scriptures that you read. If you read the King James, it even tells you in the King James. And the King James scriptures are pagan scriptures. They are trash, send you to hell, or lake of fire, I call it. Because there's going to be a lake of fire. Ain't no way around it. People coming up with all kind of teaching around that. Ain't going to happen. It's a lake of fire. I don't know what y'all going to do. They keep coming out with it. Big ones. Another mega one got like what, 25, 30, 40,000? Big time. I mean, probably the second biggest name in Christianity mega churches. Got caught up in a firestorm. They were accusing him of being homosexual. Got children that are openly homosexual. And said, on stage, got the video clip of one of the biggest pastors, preachers of organized religion, Christianity in the world saying, if I did do it, all I'd have to do is pray to God and ask for forgiveness. Literally said, if I didn't do it, but if I did do it. What they're accusing me of, if I did do it, all I'd have to do was pray and ask for forgiveness. And the whole thousands of people cheered. Thousands. Thousands. Now, I'm not saying no names on here tonight. Y'all can think, guess, wish, whatever. I'm teaching you the principles of what these people are saying. I don't even want to give them that pub. I don't want to give them that publicity. I don't want to give them that publicity. You want to know why? Because when I was in organized religion, when I was in Christianity, I used to look up to these people. They used to be an inspiration to, oh man, oh, it's good work. But once in 2007, May 2007, I came to the light. Once I came to the light and then I came to Yahuwah, I realized that, man, Yahuwah, I'm so glad you saved me. I was thinking like these big influential people. I was thinking like my granddaddy. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. My most closest person to me in the world. And my dad listened to this. And that's his dad. And me and him both are like that with his dad, my granddad. But he raised us up and believed that way. Because he never heard of the name Yahuwah. He never heard of the right way. And I don't know. Did he go seek Yahuwah with all his heart, soul, and mind before he did anything else? And if you said, Jay, choose if your grandfather that you love more than any human in the world, you choose today if he loved the Creator with all his heart to go find him. Pick one or the other. I'm going to say, no, he didn't love him that way. I would say it in front of my grandfather's face. He didn't love it. He didn't love him that way. And that's tough for my dad to hear. It's got to be tough. Now, what we got to hope, what all of us that's had loved ones that didn't hear the name of Yahuwah for one or two reasons. They were just oblivious, or they didn't love the Creator enough to go seek him with all their hearts. It's one of the two. No, it's one of the three. Or maybe they did hear it and they denied him. I think that's a rare occasion because of how the earth is set up. I think that will be a rare one. I think that will be a rare one. I think it's going to be one of the two. They were oblivious, or they didn't go seek him with all their heart. I think it's one of the two. What y'all think? I think it's one of those two. For 95 or more percent, maybe 99%. I think it's one of those two. So then what we got to hope is if they were oblivious, or the condition, we got to go into the mind of Yahuwah. How's Yahuwah going to judge this? There ain't nothing wrong with us going, let's go seek the mind of Yahuwah. How's Yahuwah going to judge this? You know what I'm saying, Lori? How's he going to judge it? My granddaddy and my grandma, sweet Adame Nolan, who saved me from probably killing myself. Like, y'all don't understand how important the 144 are. I ain't never went to this level. I told you I'm on a different level on this one. I don't think I've ever been here. Y'all don't understand how important 144 of you who come into complete alignment with Yahuwah, who get rid of all excuses. None. Yahuwah We did not seek for you with all our heart. We're dead wrong. We deserve the death penalty. That's how I came to Yahuwah. I think he loves, I know Yahuwah loves a contrite heart. He loves a person that's in complete humility. I know it in my being. That's why we got past all his transgressions. That's the only way he got out of that. Yahuwah loves a contrite heart. April said, I believe that is secure. See, I'm going to say it. If my granddaddy came back out, I say, Granddad, you know you didn't go out. You was busy raising hogs, and which is pagan. You was busy doing this and that, and you didn't go after him. Because you told me in that truck that day that your mama, this is what she believed and what your great grandma believed. This is when I came out of the Baptist church and went to Seventh-day Adventist. My granddaddy said, well, I was trying to pitch my granddad on going Seventh-day Adventist. He said, this is what my mom. So I would sit there and I would point at him with respect because he's my granddaddy, right? But I'm telling y'all, if 144 of us get together, what my spirit's telling me and us, there's something about the voice of a deep, contrite heart of people who love Yahuwah with all their heart, soul, mind, and strength. If we go to him, us 144, we come together and pray. Father, we want to pray for all of our people that we've loved that died without knowing your name. We want an opportunity to witness to them. Do y'all understand what I said? We want an opportunity to witness to them. How? When he comes back, he says there's going to be people that rule and reign with him for 1,000 years. Who are we going to be ruling and reigning over? He says, blessed is the one that takes part in the first resurrection, for death has no power over them. So there's a second resurrection that's going to take place. What does that have to do with? Have you ever stopped and thought about that? Have you? Have y'all ever stopped and thought about what's up with that second resurrection? Blessed are all those that take part in the first resurrection, for death has no power over them. But there's a second resurrection. Now, I've heard in my spirit. I've heard it. If you say, did a voice talk? No. Did some being show up? No. Did a messenger show up? An angel, sign name angel? No. Didn't show up. I've heard in my spirit that those of us that have the truth of Yahuwah are going to witness to those who had no clue about Yahuwah when they're resurrected. That's what I've heard in my spirit. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do with that. I've just heard it. Wouldn't it only be a good thing? And I've heard in my spirit that those that are resurrected are going to be in the exact same mind frame as when they went to sleep. It will be as if they just had a deep, deep, deep sleep and they woke up. about it. Now, what if you've been called to know Yahuwah's name, bring your life in order, obey and guard the commandments, get everything lined up to rule and reign, because you got to go do some important witnessing in the resurrection? What if that's you? What if that's you? Don't all of you want that hope? Don't all of you at least want to think, man, that would be a great thing to happen, to give them a shot? Because right now they have zero shot. Zero. My granddaddy has zero shot to get in with Yahuwah. Zero. Unless he's witness to. Now, who's teaching what I'm saying right now? Tell me who. You tell me anybody that has that understanding. Who? Who's teaching what I've never ever broke that down the way I broke it down tonight. Who's teaching what I just taught y'all? And the thing is, who's thought to even say what I just said? And where did it come from? That's the biggest question. For me to come up with this thought that has sound, I ain't talking outside the box of the scriptures. I have not stepped one toe outside of the scriptures in what I just said to you. Not even a toe. I'm right inside the scriptures, and I'm bringing something to the table that I'm questioning my family, which I hope all of you are. I know not all of you are. I hope you are, but I know some of my enemies are always watching. And if you're enemies of me, you hate Yahuwah. He gonna deal with you too. And I'm not saying that I don't want you. I want to roll with you, tell you the truth. Who teaching what I just said? Have you ever heard of that angle? April says nobody. But doesn't it make sense if it says, until this message is preached throughout all nations? Listen, every tongue, every knee will bow, and every tongue will confess that Yahuwah is the master. Y'all heard what I said? It says that every tongue. So my grandfather has got to come out the grave. Let me make this personal. Because see, if I don't make it personal, y'all think, oh, I'm talking on some other. I'm telling you, and it's a fact and it's proven. The human that's been the closest to me in my entire world is my grandfather. If he comes out and when the trumpet shouts, listen, y'all notice in the scriptures what it says? I don't know if y'all heard this or not. It's in the scriptures. I shall come back with a shout. That's why Yom Teruah is off the hook. The Feast of Trumpets is off the hook. He said it's going to be like, it's going to be the trumpets go off. When the trumpets go off, it says the dead in Mashiach will rise first. It says that the oceans will give up their dead. The earth will give up their dead. Those in the tombs gonna give up their dead. And those that are in Yahuwah, that rocked with Yahuwah only, will be caught up first to meet him in the clouds. Then those of us that are alive, after they are up there, you got Yahuwah Mashiach in the clouds. then we get caught up with them. Well, what about the ones that didn't call on Yahuwah or were not in Yahuwah? What about them? There's a resurrection coming for them. Now, are all of them going? They didn't call on Yahuwah's name. They were against Yahuwah, whatever. I'm going to tell you what I believe is going to happen. How many of y'all want to know what I believe is going to happen? How many of y'all want to know? I'm telling you, Yahuwah talks to me. You can believe it or not. How many of y'all want to know what's going to happen? From what I believe. It ain't no word, no scriptures, what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is not in the scriptures. But what is in the scriptures is there's going to be a resurrection of every single human being. Those who've done good, resurrection to eternal life. Those that have done bad, resurrection to everlasting judgment, contempt. Y'all want to know? We can end this right now if y'all want to know. All right. I'm going to tell you what I believe is going to happen because there's a bunch of y'all coming in. I believe Hazun chapter 21, verse 8, once Yahuwah Mashiach comes back in the clouds, and those that are dead in him are resurrected first to meet him in the clouds. And those of us that are alive, so if he came back today, we will literally watch people coming up out of nowhere. We see spirits shooting up. We'd hear a trumpet and we'd be looking and we see crazy stuff going on. Like, and then we sit there and we go, all right, at any moment, I'm about to be transformed. You be sitting there going, any moment, it ain't going to take long. It's going to happen in the blink of an eye. So you see, you just sit there and hold on and you smile. If this happens while we're still living, I'm preparing y'all. Just smile and go. Just put your hands up, shout, yeah. Because at any moment, this human body is going to be transformed into an eternal body that will never, ever die. At any moment, from the time we see, we'll be caught up. Now, we're in the clouds with him. This is what the Spirit has shown me. I'm doing prophecy with you now, and I am not a prophet. For prophecy, I'm a prophet for another reason, but not to tell you what's all coming. I will give you some of the stuff that's coming. I do emissary work. Okay? I do leadership work. Now watch. We're up. All those that were dead are up. Those of us that were alive, we're up. Now when we're up, what's going to happen, what I've heard in the spirit, is Hazun 21:8. I'm going to go over and read it from the true scriptures. That way we don't get no mess. We don't get no mess out of this. Hazun 21:8. But for the cowards, the unbelieving, the abominable, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice witchcraft, the idolaters. Boy, you better not be hanging on no crosses and stuff. All the liars shall have their part in the lake of fire that burns with sulfur, that with brimstone and sulfur. This is the second death. I believe we're up there. One or two things going to happen. I believe that we're going to sit there at that moment and we're going to see Yahuwah resurrect those people I just named off. I believe he'll resurrect. These are the next people to get resurrected. The third people to get resurrected will be the cowards, the unbelieving, the abominable, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice witchcraft, the idolaters and liars. Either they're going to go immediately into the lake or they're going to be put in a spot to just be set there in their pre-torment. One of the two. Then I believe the fourth people to get raised are those who just didn't have no idea. I'm not talking about four different, I'm just talking about in the order of the resurrection, of when he comes back. When he comes back, I believe every single being that's ever lived is getting resurrected. Let me make that clear. So people don't be saying Jay's teaching for resurrection. I ain't teaching for resurrection. I believe that every human being that's ever lived, when that trumpet shouts and he comes back, I believe everyone is getting resurrected. And then I believe the order of the resurrection. I believe those that died, shoot. Those that are alive, shoot. Those that are in Hazun, Revelation 21:8, vroom, and they get either thrown immediately in the lake of fire or they get put in a place of torment for hold. And then, vroom, fourth people get resurrection is the people that had no authentic idea. They did not in their brain consciously reject Yahuwah. That's Ida Mae Nolan, my grandma, for sure. My granddaddy, I don't know for sure. And I love him crazy. But I know my grandmother for sure is in that fourth group. And I pray my granddaddy's in that fourth group. I hope. I ain't going to say I pray. Because he made his own choices. I pray. No. I hope he's in that fourth position that I feel in my spirit. And then I believe all those fourth position people, I believe that we, those that died in Yahuwah, and then us that are alive, I believe we rule and reign and deal with those type people for the 1,000 years. Who can bring an argument against what I just said? Because who are we ruling and reigning with? Over, I should say. For 1,000 years. Well, how can we be ruling and reigning and there's nobody to rule and reign over for 1,000 years? But I'm just telling you what I feel. I'm not telling y'all that script, I'm not telling you. I'm telling you, look in your spirit and bear some, you go and bear witness with it. What would be wrong with what I'm feeling in my spirit? Wouldn't it be great? Because I'm telling you, everyone, y'all listen to me. You got people you really loved. You really, really loved. And they didn't know Yahuwah. They ain't know nothing about that name. You know they died. And that's what keeps a lot of people from coming to Yahuwah. They do ancestry worship. They just do. They go, oh my goodness, I can't think this because grandma, she died with Jesus. Well, the only reason that a lot of grandmas died with Jesus, they had no clue whatsoever about Yahuwah, or they didn't go dig for him with all their heart. That's another level. But if we get together and we go petition Yahuwah, y'all don't understand the level of this conversation. Donna, what if we go petition Yahuwah? Yes, Cheryl is dead on. If you heard Yahuwah, that's the issue with all y'all listen to me. You're hearing Yahuwah. So, hey, Sister Cheryl Lynn hit it on the point. All of you listening to me that's heard Yahuwah, there ain't no room for you. If you do not repent and call on the name of Yahuwah and go test everything I'm saying, go back through the live videos. Go over to True. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. Go to True Salvation. Here's the thing. The name video.com. You got to go there first. If you're like, man, this message is hitting me, but I ain't got it all straight, I'm giving you two places to go. The name video.com, and then you got to go to truesalvation.net. That's two things you got to do. Once you get through with that, Yahuwah going to look at you and say, now look, I sent my emissary to tell you what to do. If you reject the name video.com, if you reject truesalvation.net, you're going in the lake of fire. We ain't going to come and witness to you. It ain't happening. You're dealing with the Yahuhanan, the immersive situation, where he told you to repent and turn. Every now and then, Yahuwah going to send some real emissaries on the earth, and they're going to bring you the truth. And you're going to know that they're real emissaries. You want to know why? Because you're going to say, there's no way somebody can have all that understanding if he was not or she was not sent from the Most High. You're going to be like a Nicodemus. He said, hey, ain't nobody can do all this if they ain't sent from above, from the Most High. Can't do it. You can't say these things. So y'all going to have to understand. And here's the next thing y'all going to have to do. When they don't listen, I'm going to give Heather some advice. When they don't listen, don't talk about they don't listen. Anna, you get what I'm saying, Sister Anna? I love me some Sister Anna Tatum. She said, it's so heartwarming to hear the truth of Yahuwah's written word. Thank you, Brother Jay, for being obedient and faithful to Yahuwah, Ruah. Speaking to you. Thank you. Hey, I'm just telling you the truth. Y'all stop. Listen, you're going to have to go into a discipline. Ain't no way around your discipline. You can't be a disciple without discipline. Can't do it. You can't get your feelings hurt easy. You're not easily offended if you're a real one when you have to go through correction. Ain't hardly anybody getting rebuked. Not with us. We're not going to have, promote the truth is not going to have to do a bunch of rebuking. That's our ministry. We're not going to have to. Not going to have to do it. We're going to do some correction, instructing. I'm not going to, y'all, every now and then, y'all will see me do a hardcore rebuke. When I do it, you know that person's tied up. And some heavy messengers came to deal with them. If you ever see me rebuke. That's just ain't going to happen much here. It might happen when all the hellfire starts flying down and Yahuwah starts pouring out the bowls. I'm going to have to do it. When they don't hear you, stop. Don't even bring them up. Don't talk about it. See, y'all don't understand the assignment. When do you shake the dust off of your shoes? Going into the house or coming out of the house? There's hardly any dust in the house. You gotta understand the times back then. Everything was dirt roads, dust everywhere. Inside the house, the women were sweeping, keeping all the dust out the house. You got some film of dust in there. Yahusha said, if they don't receive you while you're in the house, shake the dust as you leave the house. It wasn't literal shake any dust because there's minuscule dust. It's the dust when you go in the house is the most dust. What he was saying is, don't talk about him anymore. Stop talking about him. You shook your dust. You go in your brain and say, they didn't receive Yahuwah. And in your brain, you shake the dust as you're leaving it. The dust is, ain't nothing else I got to say about this. I brought you the truth. You didn't want to hear it. That's some discipline to do that. That's some discipline to do what I just told you. I promise you some discipline. Now let's go to Yahuhanan. I'm going to see if Lena's here. I done went way too long. Lena! Lena got to come and say hi to you. I got to go to the bathroom. Lena! Lena going to have to come and say hi. I done went way too long because Yahuwah got me talking about Revelation stuff. You going to say hi to your family?
Hello, fam. Just listen to all this amazing life today. Just taking care of everything. Preparation day, preparation night right now. So I'm getting some beef in the slow cook. So I can wait for Shabbat tomorrow. So make sure you have your food done. Tomorrow you cannot be cooking, you cannot be working out, you cannot be making any purchases or anything. Just chill once the sun comes out until the sun completely goes out and it's completely dark. So I see all my sisters and brothers here. Donna, I see Lane Heather, Sylvia, Danielle Levy, Patience, I see Emily. So hey everyone. And I'm loving what I'm hearing tonight. I think is that part that we always ask ourselves when those that we love are gone. And it's important to touch that topic. It's like I lost my grandma, and when she was in coma, in the last minutes, I was, during those days that she was in coma, I was telling her about Yahuwah. So I know she heard the name, she felt it, but she never had the opportunity to accept it. So it's gonna be interesting when she comes back. But I know she's sleeping right now, so that's important for all of us to understand that everyone that have died right now, they're sleeping, and you cannot talk to no dead people or spirits that's not of Yahuwah. So that's one thing. Those are demons. So that's one thing that you also want to know about that, the topic that we're touching tonight. So I love you all. My brother Jay's coming here. It was very nice to see you. Hi, Ebony. Hi, Eileen.
Gotta give me some kisses.
144. I saw it today in the amount of people in there, so that was good.
144. Had to give me some wifey kisses. She did a great job, didn't she? Y'all understand what's going on? Y'all see the assignment that we've been sharing with you? This to me is simple. I'm going to Yahuhanan, chapter 14. Let me get over there. I'm so thankful that my wife got over and got in the trenches and helped me out. Because I done talked past what I was supposed to be doing. I gotta get this one here. Here we go. I'm going to Yahuhanan chapter 14. I'm in the true scriptures, by the way. I'm going to go to what verse I'm going to? All right, verse 12. I assure you that everyone who believes in me shall do the works that I have done also. As a matter of fact, they shall do even greater works than these, because I am going back to the Father. Hardly anybody gets that point. I am going back to the Father. Pay attention. I am going back to, all I got to do is put one word in there to unlock the big secret that he told you a few verses before. I am going back to, what if we put the word be in between be and the? I am going back to be the Father. Imagine that. What if you just put one little bitty small word in between to and thee? Can y'all imagine that? What if you put two letters, B-E, B? Think about that. What if you put it's a one word. B, just B and E. It's only one word. But Blake just said it. It would be correct. Y'all, anybody want to throw up a counter approach to what I've said? I don't want to say argue because I'm not arguing. You want to throw up a counter? What if you put the word be in between to and thee? What would happen to the verse? See, I believe he didn't put the be in the verse is because that's the separator. I know, matter of fact, I know it for a fact. I know it in my whole spirit that the reason that Yahusha, when he was here, didn't put the word be there is because why? He's sitting there going, y'all don't get it? He's sitting there telling us, all right, this is another level here tonight. I'm gonna have to do a Shabbat one tomorrow to break this one. I wanted to sleep all day, but Yahuwah is kind of poking me to go do a Shabbat gathering today and go on and make them get it. But y'all might be able to get it on this one. What if you put the word be in between to and thee? Look, Amber said, read it again. How many of y'all want me to put it in the chat? Anybody want me to put it in the chat? Hey, I gotta get something to eat, y'all. I've been going hard all day. I got to eat some food. I don't remember when the last time I ate today. Long time ago. I ain't eat dinner for sure yet. Dan said, put it in the chat. Dan, you already read it. All right. I'm putting it in the chat. Y'all got a bunch of putting in the chats in here. Now watch. Verse 12. True scriptures. Watch this now. You got to slow your brain down. Satan's trying to keep you running 1,000,000 miles an hour. He does not want you to get what I'm teaching whatsoever. I'm telling all y'all, you ain't got no, hey, listen, you're not going to have no excuse. If you deny this, you're going to hear these words. These words are going to echo. I try to say echo in words, and I say words. You're going to hear these words echo in your ear as you go into the lake of fire. And it's not a joke. It's for real. You're going to burn and you're going to, he wants you to get it. Why would he create me and be cruel? He's not creating you to be cruel. He created you to get it. And if you don't get it, because of you being created at the highest capacity as a human, you must get it or you must suffer. Why? He has compassion on who he wants. And if he don't want to, you don't. That's a hard one to get. That who we're dealing with, hey, why does he let lions kill gazelles? Does that seem fair? Y'all ain't figured that out yet? You think you're different than the gazelle. I know I'm not different. On the understanding level, I know I'm different from my apartness as a human. But man, it's my understanding Yahuwah, I get the lion and the gazelle. You don't go watch it and see these gazelles getting ate up. Do you ever sit back and go, man, oh man, Yahuwah's terrible because he lets the gazelle get ate by the lion. Do y'all do that? It don't feel good. It feels kind of weird. Like, why would you let that happen? Then you can sit back and go into these deep philosophers and go, man, I can't roll with the creator. I'm like, man, if that's how the creator is, I'm rolling with him. If he lets lions eat gazelles, I'm rolling with the one that lets the lions eat the gazelles. I'm not going to be the gazelle in that case. Now, you can think however you want to think. I'm rolling with the winner. It's a hard thing when I'm teaching tonight. Trust me, ain't nothing simple. No, it's nothing easy about what I'm teaching. It's simple, but ain't nothing easy. This is a hard message to hear. It's like when Yahuwah Mashiach said, unless you eat of my body and drink of my blood, you will not enter. And they said, well, this is a hard thing to understand. And some people go, oh man, in the scriptures, it contradicts himself because he's talking about blood. Y'all don't get that Yahuwah's on some other level. You always try to bring Yahuwah down to your level. He ain't on our level. He ain't here. He ain't on this level. He's never going to be on this level. Again, he came on this level one time. And he says, if you don't get it, then you don't get it. And I'm going to punish you for not getting it because it's obvious that you should have got it. And if you want to argue it ain't fair, go argue that. Be the gazelle. It ain't fair. I promise you, it is not fair. It ain't about being fair. It's about being righteous. Righteous. You better be right on this one. Keep on trying to be fair as a human. Keep on trying to have equal opportunity this whole thought process as a human and watch what Yahuwah does. I'm putting in the chat. Yahuhanan 14:12. John. True scriptures. Y'all see it? Tell me if it came all in on YouTube. Did it break up? I gotta piece it up or not? We gotta petition YouTube. They gotta let it all get in the chat. Nope, it didn't all get in there. It cut off it because I see it now. And that's the most important part. It cut off at the most important part. But Shaitan don't win. Oh, hey, by the way, Facebook, they get the whole thing. It's YouTube that doesn't do it. And YouTube is our biggest platform. So shout out to YouTube. I got to send them a message about this. Part 2. Here comes part 2. Y'all see it? There it is. Part 2. because I am going back to the Father. Now, let me read all the way down to that. Brother Wayne, I'm going to read all the way down to that. Wayne Lewis in the building. Marv. Marv said, I'm hanging with y'all. And gazelles are awesome. They're beautiful animals. They're everything. But man, if I got a choice to be a gazelle or a lion, y'all pick one. Pick one. For real, for real. Pick gazelle or lion. You have to pick one of the two. Pick one. See which one you pick. Some people want to do it. RB, what you doing in here? You cannot bring Lord and God in here. Everybody tell RB he can't do it or she can't do it. We hate Lord and we hate God. If you bring Lord and God in here, that means to tell us that you were sent by the evil one. And if you weren't sent by the evil one, I'm giving you a warning to go to info@promotethetruth.com, send us a message, and we will unblock you. But as of now, you are officially out of here. Did y'all get it? Oh man, the snipers got him before I can say anything. The snipers got him before I couldn't even say it. I was just talking. The snipers. Y'all remember that gong show? They come out there with the hook and they grab them and they pull them out. Hey, we got truth snipers for real. Ain't gonna last. You got a minute at last. Say whatever you want to say. We give you a minute. After a minute, if you make it past a minute, you out of here. I gotta giggle now, man, because they be like, they think they can come up in here. You don't want to know why? They're used to going to other channels that tolerate that stuff. Oh, we just let everybody. They used to go into the gazelle channels. Hey, you go to the gazelles if you want to. Ain't no gazelle channel in here. And we love the gazelles. But we had to pick one and promote the truth. We had to pick gazelle or lion. We had to. And we picked lion. Yahudah. Do we? I'm sorry, man. I don't know what else to say, man. I got to giggle. See, some of y'all get all tore up when people come at you different ways. People come at me every day. Y'all don't understand it. People attack me every day. They attack Dewey every day. They attack Abraham. It's always somebody that hates the people of Yahuwah. The darkness knows who the light is. The demons are in. There's a lot of demons in a lot of people. And them demons know every one of us that got Yahuwah in us. We are his lamp. They hate us. And so when I know they hate me, and I know they try and get me off my game, trying to steal my joy, I don't do it. I laugh. That's why I don't argue with them. I delete them. I block them. My staff, our team, they delete them. They block them. They don't respond to them ever. I had somebody send me one of the most awful messages before I got on here. And it's an old baseball teammate. Awful. Terrible message to me. And I giggle when I see them. I'm like, that's that demon in you. All right. I'm going in. Y'all ready? Did y'all see the verse or not? 12. I assure you that everyone who believes in me shall do the works I have done also. As a matter of fact, they shall do even greater works than these because I am going back to the Father. So let's hone in on to the Father. I'm going to put that in the chat. I want to hone in on something. I am going back. Matter of fact, I'll put this. I am going back. I got to put that whole thing in there. It's going in the chat. I'm putting focus. Yahuhanan. Come on, Wayne. All right. 14:12. This is the fam. This is the focus. Yahuwah is telling us over and over. We got to listen to what he's saying. He says, I am going back to the Father. Now, I'm going to put something else in the chat. I'm going to put something in the chat. I'm going to put something else in the chat right now, and then I want anybody on earth to debate me on this. And when you debate me, I'm not going to respond to you, but you're welcome to debate. But it's going to be futile. It's going to make you look silly. Look, Mike said, this is so profound. It is, Mike. You're right. Hey, Mike, it's so profound. It's ridiculous, tell you the truth. It's so profound and obvious. All right. It's in the chat. I put verse 9 in the chat. All right. The whole verse got on YouTube and Facebook. We're good. Now, you tell me if we put the word be in between to and the in verse 12, how would that even come close to contradicting with verse 9? You're talking about 3 or 4 verses before. We're in the same chapter. We're within the same breaths. We're within less than a minute of Yahuwah HaMashiach talking. We're not talking about the next day or the next week. We're not talking about 15 minutes later, 5 minutes later. We're talking about less than a minute later. He said something that makes me say we could if we wanted to. And I thought about doing it in the translation. I thought about it. Lena even said something to me about it. I think Sherry and Melanie might have mentioned something to me about it. I said, nope, I'm not putting the word be in there. I'm going to do what my Father's doing. He's telling us, do you not understand the obvious? That as humans, I only talk to you in parables. Woo! Y'all know what to do with that. I'm telling you. Y'all have no idea. I don't know what you're going to do with that. I'm watching the chat. It's blowing up. By the way, if you're on the replay, the chat has now officially exploded. It's exploded. Y'all going nuts. Y'all see it? I can't even get back up to what I said. I'm trying to scroll back up. Y'all blowing it up. Sarah, y'all see it? Shannon, you see it? Y'all see it? See, this is Yahusha's biggest secret. It's the truth in, it's in plain sight. It's hidden. It's hidden in plain sight. It's hidden in plain. It is. For real, for real. Hannah, you can't get around these verses that are like, if we went from here to there a little bit, precept on, this is not precept on precept. This is in a matter of seconds. We're like, how long would it take you to read that? I'm gonna clock myself. Hey, never done this one. I'm going to clock myself. I'm gonna clock myself reading from verse 9 to 12. I'm gonna clock myself. I'm gonna do it. Y'all think I'm playing? Nope. I'm gonna talk normal. I'm not gonna talk fast. I'm gonna talk like a human being would normally talk. Okay? And I'm gonna add the other people asking him questions that he ain't even talking. No. That would be the conversation. So it wouldn't be it would be part of it. It's all part of it. So it's part of them asking, part of him responding. I'm gonna time it. I'm gonna time verse 9 to verse 12. On your mark, get set, go. Yahusha replied, don't you know me, Philip? Even after I have been with you all this time, whoever has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father? Do you not believe that I am in the Father and that the Father is in me? The words that I say to you are not from me. It is the Father speaking through me and doing his work. Trust me when I say that I am in the Father and that the Father is in me, or at least believe in the miracles, the miraculous works you have seen me do. I assure you that everyone who believes in me shall do the works that I have done also. As a matter of fact, they shall do even greater works than these, because I am going back to the Father. 59 seconds. 59 seconds. And I fumbled a couple of words. We talking about 55 seconds. Maybe 50. 55. I'm going to do the line. We talking about 55 seconds. We talking about in less than a minute. Yahusha said he was Yahuwah. In less than a minute. Now you can either believe that or you can deny that. But you cannot say he was talking in some context. I've heard every excuse to get away from verse 9. Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. If I add the word be to verse 12, because I am going back to be the Father. 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 Y'all afraid to say it. I'm going to put it in all caps. I am going back to be the Father. There you go. From Promote the Truth. We believe that Yahusha is Yahuwah. He is the Father in the flesh as the Son. That's what we believe. And we believe that the scriptures say that. And we believe it says only that. And that every other excuse around that is an anti-Mashiach. Wants to create two saviors to get you in the pit of hell. Get you to reject Yeshayahu 43:11. That I am Yahuwah. And besides me, there is no other savior. That's what we believe. We believe that if you believe that Yahusha is separate from Yahuwah, and that Yahusha's name is greater than who he is as the Father, then we believe you are an anti-Mashiach. And you've been sent from the pit of hell to try to deceive us. And we ain't rolling with you. Because you can't get away from verse 9. Anyone that seen me, has seen the Father. You can't get away from Yahuhanan 8:24. Unless you believe that Ayah, you shall die in your sins. Ayah, he said it. Unless you believe that I am, the Almighty, Eluah, you shall die in your sins. Who said that? Yahusha said that. Oh, you don't get it because you are Greek to the max and you don't know it. And I don't want you to be Greek to the max. I don't want you to be. I want you to have eternal life with me and my brothers and sisters. And my job on earth is to preach this hardcore until he snatches me up or all the breath's gone out of me. And I ain't moving. Because I believe if I bring it to you and I reason with you and I passion with you, what am I doing in here talking with you like this? What am I doing giving it all I got with you like this? Man, I should be out on a baseball field back in the day. Them inducting me into some Hall of Fame or giving me all these rewards and awards. Hey, that's the life I had pinned out for me that Satan had designed to take me in. It was a test for me. It was a test. I had the greatest cause in my life on earth and in the heaven, and I chose heaven. And I don't care what none of y'all say. I chose eternity with Yahuwah. I did. I'm rolling with Yahuwah. That's my team. Y'all don't know what to do. Why? Why am I doing this live? Why? Because we got to deal with this and I'm out of here. We got to deal with it. This is deep, man. Man, it's deep. It's so deep, it's hard to even grasp, ain't it? Tell the truth. Tell the truth is it's not like, it's like in my core. Now watch what happens. All we got to do is after verse 12, we got to deal with this, y'all. And I'm out of here. I promise you, I can get something to eat. I'm not trying to sell you on nothing. I am trying to convince you for the kingdom. That's my job. It's the only job I got. I don't have jobs. I build businesses. And I build kingdom business, but I got a job inside the kingdom. And my job inside the kingdom is to tell you what I'm telling you. And I'm here to tell you something. He said, I assure you, verse 12. You ready? Now keep in mind verse 9. Don't let verse 9, that's what I got to teach people. Don't let verse 9, Yahuhanan 14, John 14:9, don't let it leave your brain. Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you even ask me to show the Father to you. If you see me. See that part is the one that's like, what you doing? Smack you upside the head. What you doing asking me to show you the Father and you with me? And before he said, anybody that seen me has seen the Father? Then he ends it with, how can you say, show us the Father? What you talking about? What you doing trying to say, show us the Father? You done been with me all this time? Then I read verse 12. I assure you that everyone who believes in me shall do the works that I have done also. As a matter of fact, they shall do even greater works than these, because I am going back to be the Father. That's what he was saying. He just didn't say the word be. He didn't need to say the word be because he was checking you in verse 9. Within a minute less, he was checking you and me to see if we was going to believe him. He was saying to your name, like Philip. He would have said, Jamie, Wayne, Patrice, Lorena. You know what I'm saying, Lorena? Lane, Heather, Dawn, Nancy, Amber. What you talking about? Show me the Father. That's how we got to take the scriptures. We got to put our name in place of Philip's name. Philip. We got to be the Philip in this case to get this straight in our human brains. We have to be Philip. We got to be him. We got to put ourselves as if we was him that would have the audacity to say it. Because if you doubt it, if you question it, if you're trying to come to grips with it, you ain't got to. You just got to be Philip. You just got to be Philip. That's it. Once you Philip his real name, once you are him, now you just got your butt checked. How can you say, show me the Father when you looking at me? Because I am going back to be the Father. Now watch, and I'm done. After this one, I'm done. Verse 13, and I'm done. I'm not going to verse 14. No, I'll take it back. I'm going to go to 14, and that's it. I got to give you 13 and 14. That's it. And I got to go get something to eat. And you can believe it or not, but I'm going to go get me something to eat. And I'm going to believe it while I'm eating. And it's late. But 10 o'clock where I'm at, I finally going to eat some dinner. Because I am going back to be the Father. Now watch. What if you put, I'm going back to be the Father in verse 12, and then you say verse 13. Y'all ready? Mega breakthrough. Here comes the biggest secret of Yahusha is in verse 13. Once you understand verse 12 of John, Yahuhanan 14. And you shall ask, and whatever, hold on, let me get it straight. And whatever you shall ask in my name, I will do it. This will bring esteem to the Father through the Son. This will bring esteem to me, the Father, while I was with you here as the Son. That means you believe that I am the Father. 14. When you ask me for anything in my name, I will do it. What is his name if he's the Father? Come on, put it in the chat. What is his name if he's the Father? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What is his name? If Yahusha is Yahuwah, if it said, because I am going back to be the Father, what is his name that you can ask him anything in? See, you ain't getting what you're supposed to get because you twisted with his name. You keep thinking that Yahusha is his name. He told you that his name in eternity ain't Yahusha. He says, I'm going back to be who I was before I came to this earth. That's what he's saying. That's what this whole thing is about. How could you miss that? How could you do translation after translation after translation after translation and not understand what I just said? How can you call yourself a scholar and deny Yahuwah? How could you call on the Most High's name and then deny his name? How could you say, I'm out of paganism, and then you be hooked on the mystery rather than the solution? What are you doing? Printing these scriptures all over the place that is even coming close to putting his earthly name above his set apart eternal name. What are you doing? What are you doing? Man, I feel like Yahuhanan the immerser up in here. Y'all can tell everybody. You can send this to your pastor. You can send this to all other translations. I'm calling you to understand that Yahuwah is the only Mashiach. That's what I'm calling you to understand. And you cannot prove from the scriptures anything different than that and be a real one. Otherwise, you are the anti-Mashiach. It's you. You ain't for him if you claim any other name. And you can't trick us. You can't trick us the way Satan wants you to be tricked. And you don't understand it. You don't understand. You done miss 2 Thessalonians. You done miss 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, 9 through 12. He says, if you don't love the truth, I'm going to send you a delusion to believe a lie. Do you not understand that I set this whole thing up, thus says Yahuwah? Have you missed that I set it up? It's me. You ain't got to guess who did it. I set it up, thus says Yahuwah. You ain't got to guess it. I made it be where a human could not say my name and not get killed on earth, so that when I came to earth to reestablish my name, I would use a name to point to who I am. And if you can figure out that secret, that mystery, then you can have me. But if you ran after my smoke screen, the name Yahusha was my smoke screen to see if you could find me, says Yahuwah. Now what you gonna do with that? You gonna disprove what I said? You gonna call me something different than the truth? I'm telling you, you cannot prove it from scripture, what I just taught. You can't. I'm telling you right now, he used the name Yahusha to only point to him as who he is. And that name was the smoke screen to smoke you out, to see if you would catch him and who he was. He said, hold on. You can't deal with this unless you love the truth. You ain't going to deal with this. You're going to hate me, as a matter of fact. And guess what? I'm going to giggle. You're not going to make me not laugh. You ain't taking away my joy. It ain't going to happen. No, I done got discipline on my joy. Some of y'all need to get discipline in your joy. You need to learn to laugh and smile when you don't feel like it. Once you learn that, you're on the other side. You never ever become a disciple until you can learn to laugh when you don't feel like it. And then you all of a sudden it becomes you. I'm out. I told you I wasn't going to give you no more, but I'm going to stamp this one. I'm going to stamp this one because I know I'm all up in some of y'all's guts. I'm all up in some of y'all's crawl. Yahuhanan, John, he's still in the same books. He's still in John. Just a few more chapters over. Yeah, John 17. Yahuhanan 17, 11, and 12. I am no longer going to be in this world. Listen to Yahuwah talk to us. I am no longer going to be in the world. Who? Yahuwah. But he's posing as Yahusha. He says, I am no longer going to be in the world. And I come to you, set apart, Father. Smoke screen. Smoke screen. I come back to me. Simple. I add two words. I come back to me, set apart, Father. So guard them in your name. How do I know I can say there's two words that's the code in there? How do I know? He says it. And I come back to you. I come back to me as the set apart Father. So guard them in your name, which is the name that you gave me. What's his name that he gave him? What y'all gonna do? He said, guard them in your name that you gave me, so that they may be one as we are one. Hold on. 12 is going to crush this. It's going to kill all you anti-Mashiachs. Verse 12 is going to smash every anti-Mashiach. That's anti-sign named Christ. You ever heard of Antichrist? It's really anti-Mashiach. Verse 12 crushes the Antichrist. That's a pagan name. The anti-Mashiach. Wait a minute. While I was with them, that's the emissaries, I was guarding them in your name, which is the name you gave to me. What? He says, while I was with them, I was guarding them in your name, which is the name you gave me, and it kept them safe. See, I don't have to say no more. I don't have to say no more. If he said, while I was with them, I was guarding them in your name. See, you see all the power? You see all the power the emissaries had once they accepted their power? They was like some of y'all. They was doubting. It's okay. If you've been wrestling with some doubt and you're trying to get your brain around it, it's okay. I'm telling you it's okay. But snap out of it. You got about 18 minutes to get it together. It's okay. But you can't go past 18 minutes. You go more than 18 minutes, you ain't his. He said, while I was with them, I was guarding them in your name. Okay. They didn't get it at first. Once they got it, they got it. They picked up. He been saying Yahuwah to us. He's telling us he's Yahuwah. When we went out and we cast out these demons, we cast out these demons in Yahuwah's name. Y'all missed that. When he sent them out and they came back, they were so mesmerized. Woo! Even the demonic spirits listen to us. Well, we speak to them in your name. He said I was guarding them in your name. They knew the power was in the name of Yahuwah. They knew it. So they went out and they proclaimed the name of Yahuwah. So they had all power in that name. They knew they couldn't go out. Why did he say, while I was with them, I was guarding them in the name Yahushua, in my name. See, why didn't he claim the name Yahusha? Why would y'all try to make him lock down on Yahusha when he said, I was guarding him in your name, which is the name you gave me? There's not a soul that can get around Yahuhanan, John 17, 11, and 12. Not one person, not one scholar, nobody. You can't get around John 17, 11, and 12. That Yahusha is Yahuwah, and that is his only name. And he reserved for 33 years the name Yahusha as the smoke screen just to operate on earth because he set it up that way to find out who would choose him. Now take that and deal with that because that's a big one. That ain't no little one. That's not a little one. Now, I don't know how much closer to the truth I can bring you than what I brought you tonight. I brought you to the absolute, you can't doubt truth. You can't do nothing with it, but just choose it. I'm done. I'm going to get something to eat. You love Yahuwah or you don't after this. But he is, Yahusha told you his biggest secret. He is Yahuwah. He said it and he closed it out. And I believe him. What you going to do with this?